俺は戦士だった。
Vinland Saga is back this winter with a much-awaited Season 2, and in this video, I'm gonna give you 7 reasons why you need to watch this masterpiece. But before we begin, tell me which upcoming anime you're most excited about. Share your thoughts with me in the comments down below. And now, let's get this show started. The very first reason to watch Vinland Saga has to be its fascinating setting. The story takes place at the start of the last millennium, when Vikings started their reign of terror in Britain and Scandinavia. One of my favourite things about this show is just how seamlessly it incorporates historical events into this fictional story. This guy, for instance, who's impaling multiple dudes with a single spear, was a real warrior named Thorkel, who was known for his monstrous strength and courage. Similarly, the show also demonstrates the brutality of the Viking invasion in a rather realistic manner. Many great scenes capture the sheer mindlessness of this bloody war. By paying attention to details, Vinland Saga pretty much takes you back in time to a world that looks so alien to us, even though we know it existed for sure. So even if you aren't a history buff, you are going to love the kind of fantastical settings of this show. The beautiful setting isn't the only unique thing about this show. It also boasts a huge cast of colourful characters, which gives it the kind of depth that you just don't get with most anime. I mean, from the very first episode, it becomes clear just how complex most of these characters are. This is all thanks to the genius of Makoto Yukimura, who is one of my favourite mangaka working today. He has this remarkable ability to even make the side characters feel special. You can witness this by looking at the journey of the drunken priest. This man of God, who somewhat lost his way, would have been a stereotypical religious madman in any other anime, but he might just be the only sane person in the entire show. The way he teaches Canute the meaning of love and death is mesmerizing and extremely important to the story. And there's no shortage of such masterfully written characters in this show, which only adds to its beauty. While we're on the subject of beauty, we have to talk about the gorgeous animation on display here. I mean, my god, the show quite literally begins with a fight scene that could give many Attack on Titan battles a run for their money. And this jaw-dropping fight animation pops up many times during the first season, so be prepared to get your shot of adrenaline in every other episode. But even if you look past the beautifully animated fights, you'll notice that even some of the most mundane scenes look flawless. One of my favourite scenes is the one where Ragnar is killed. His final moments are animated with such delicacy that I almost felt bad about his death, even though he wasn't a good guy. But then again, that's what good animation can do to you. And this breathtaking animation is supported by what can only be described as a banger soundtrack. I mean, goddamn, this music slaps in this anime. From the aggressive drum solos to the delicate piano tracks, nothing misses the mark. And don't even get me started on the opening. Mukanjo has to be one of the best OPs in anime history. Its all too real lyrics and simple yet chest-thumping composition capture the very essence of the anime, which is something you can't say about many openings. I don't usually pay too much attention to the soundtrack, but Yutaka Yamada has this insane ability to draw you in with his heartfelt score, which is something I first observed with his music in Tokyo Ghoul, but Vinland Saga has to be his best work yet. Now, we've established that the animation, the soundtrack, and the setting of Vinland Saga are great, but probably the best thing about this show is just how special its main characters are. Yeah, you heard that right. There isn't one MC here, at least not in the first season. Anyone with half a brain cell will realize that our antagonist, Askeladd, is just as important to the story as our protagonist, Thorfinn. Now understand, I'm using the terms antagonist and protagonist very loosely here, because in all honesty, neither of them can be labelled as good or bad, and that's exactly what makes them so special. They can't really be your role model, since they'll probably kill you for looking at them the wrong way, but that doesn't make them evil either. It's just the kind of world they live in, where they have to be ruthless to survive. So the best way to describe them would be to call them humans, and that's something you can't say about most main characters these days. Now, so far we've established what makes Vinland Saga Season 1 awesome, but the future of this anime looks even brighter. First off, Thorfinn's character development is taken to a whole new level in the upcoming Slave arc. So far, we just saw a kid who lost his humanity just so he can avenge his father's death. But in Season 2, we will see Thorfinn find a new meaning to his existence. In his captivity, he will come across new characters who will help him grow up from being the mindless killer he was in the first season. Canute will also become a more important character now that he has become a ferocious Viking king. Fun fact, he is also based on a real king called Canute the Great, who united the kingdoms of England, Denmark and Norway, so you can be sure that he will play a major role in the rest of the story. Even more importantly, Mappa is taking over the production for Season 2, and looking at Chainsaw Man, I can confidently say that the animation is going to get even more insane. Now before we continue this love letter to Vinland Saga, put a chain round your neck, smash the like button, and smash the subscribe button so we can keep bringing you more videos like this. And remember, a true warrior doesn't need a sword. And now we come to the final reason that makes Vinland Saga a must-watch. This anime is one of the rare seinen jewels. Now if you don't know about the seinen genre, it's basically a more mature version of a shonen. Think about shows like Berserk and Kingdom, which explore much more serious themes than Naruto and Bleach. And Vinland Saga has all the elements needed to become a great seinen anime. It doesn't shy away from displaying blood and gore, because that's the only way it can stay faithful to the story it's trying to tell. Many of the characters you come across are just trying to find their place in the chaotic world around them. One of the best things about this anime is how it never confines itself into a mold. It starts off as a revenge saga, but you'll soon learn that it's not just about revenge. In fact, the best way to describe Vinland Saga would be to say it's a strange coming-of-age story of a young Viking who's trying to find his way in a cold, cold world. It's one of those shows that you need to cherish while they exist, because they're just so rare. So in essence, watch the first couple of episodes of this masterpiece, and I'm sure you'll thank me later. And that wraps up today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.